Those are three actual different answers to roughly the same question, the evolving timeline of who knew what when inside the White House. We're back with the panel. Tucker, this is one element to the IRS story. Right. And Jay Carney having to say today that, in fact, Treasury and White House officials were talking together about when the release would happen. The release actually happened when a question was planted in a conference, an ABA conference, and Lois Lerner with the IRS, who, by the way, tomorrow will plead the fifth in the hearing on Capitol Hill. She then talked about this for the first time. Now, the White House is saying they talked about it early on.
I've never seen a scandal quite like this, but I've seen a lot of scandals. And all of them leave you with the same impression, which is this strategy doesn't work. Changing your story every couple of press conferences, denying the obvious, the IRS, former IRS commissioner coming out today and saying, no, it wasn't partisan, looking right into the camera, refusing to apologize, pleading the fifth. I mean, I think well, of course it imperils Jay Carney's ability to get a job after this is all over, but more than that, it extends the inevitable. We will find out. Congress is inflamed. Talk to any Republican member of Congress, and they are genuinely outraged. They can't decide whether they want, to storm the executive branch over this or have a special prosecutor. I think it's a very poor management of this scandal.
The Fox News polls out today. Which Obama scandal concerns you most? The IRS at 32%, Benghazi 27%, the DOJ investigation 21%, all 10%. Kirsten, we're going to hear hearings up there on Capitol Hill probably for some time.
Yeah, well, I think the IRS scandal scares everybody, whether you're a liberal or conservative, because everybody knows that it could happen to them, and I've always heard stories of it happening. I also think people find it really offensive, the idea of pleading the fifth. If I get audited, I guess I'm just going to plead the fifth, or say I don't know, as they keep saying. They're not accountable to anybody, so I think people sort of feel like, where's the accountability here? There was an ongoing push from conservative members of Congress saying this had been going on, and then they choose to not tell them and then plant a question. I mean, everything about it is fishy.
Today, the former commissioner of the IRS, Charles, was up on Capitol Hill on the Senate side. Take a listen.
How did this happen?
Mr. Chairman, I can't say that I know that answer.
Well,
I'm 6 months out of...
You got some sense of the outfit. You're a commissioner for a good number of years. You've got some idea. You've thought about this.
I'm 6 months out of office. When I left, the IG was looking into this to gather all of the facts. I've now had the benefit of reading the report, and that's the full accounting of facts that I have at this point. And so I don't think I can answer that question.
I'm kind of disappointed, frankly, because you've had time to think about this, and you certainly have more thoughts than that.
Democratic Chairman Max Baucus.
Here's why this has legs. Number one, because as Kirsten says, everybody is outraged. Everybody knows what the IRS can do, and everybody's afraid of it. Second, because you now have somebody who's going to plead the fifth. In a court of law, the jury is not supposed to interpret that as hiding something. But this isn't a court of law, and we aren't a jury. Clearly, there is something happening here. Everybody understands it's a red flag. And last is the fact, who was the member of Congress who was just up there? That was the Democratic head of the Senate Finance Committee. Yes, the Republicans are up in arms, but Democrats are too. And Baucus, whom we saw, isn't even up for re-election. Imagine the Democrats who are. The fact that you have a committee headed by a Democrat in a Democratic Senate who's leading all this, who yesterday submitted over 40 questions about the IRS scandal and said, I have a suspicion there's a lot here we don't know. This thing is going to go on, and it could be fatal.
That is it for the panel, but stay tuned for a look at the aftermath of the Moore tornado in a way that you may not have seen.